Hello, and welcome to another video from the YouTube channel, From Religion to Agnostic. Hello family, friends, rebels and sheeple. Today we look at the Girgashites and the place called Kadesh. There is very little known about the Girgashites, so this will be a very short video. Girgashites are one of the tribes indigenous to the land of Canaan as mentioned in Genesis 15:21, Deuteronomy 7:1, Joshua 3:10, Nehemiah 9:8. The Girgashites are also known as the fifth ethnic group that descended from Canaan, Genesis 10:16, 1 Chronicles 1:14. Although the Girgashites are not referred to in the narrative of the wars of conquests, and their locality is not stated, they are named by Joshua among the peoples the Israelites dispossessed, 24:11. They have been uncertainly identified with the Girgashites, allies of the Hittites in their wars with Ramses II. If that identification is correct, the Girgashites would have been part of the southward migrations from Anatolia of peoples displaced by the fall of the Hittite Empire in 1200 BCE. A personal name, Girgashites, appears in Ugaritic, but its connection with this people is unknown. The sibilant termination of the biblical name suggests a Hurrian origin. Okay, and so let's reflect on the information we have here. Let's look where it states, and I quote, "They have been uncertainly identified with the Girgashites, allies of the Hittites in their wars with Ramses II. If that identification is correct, the Girgashites would have been part of the southward migrations from Anatolia of peoples displaced by the fall of the Hittite Empire in 1200 BCE. A personal name, Girgashites, appears in Ugaritic. Now what we have here is the Battle of Kadesh. I did mention this earlier in the video I did about Dodanium and Dodona, named Japheth's grandson, Jovan's son Dodanim, Dodona, Amenhotep III, Ramses II, and the Battle of Kadesh. So let's look at Kadesh, where the battle took place. Kadesh or Kadesh, Quoth, Dale, Shin, equals, holy, is a place name that occurs several times in the Hebrew Bible, describing a site or sites located south of, or at the southern border of, Canaan and the Kingdom of Judah. Many modern academics hold that it was a single site, located at the modern Ain el-Qudirat, while some academics and rabbinical authorities hold that there were two locations named Kadesh. A related term, either synonymous with Kadesh or referring to one of the two sites, is Kadesh, or Kadesh, Barnea. Various etymologies for Barnea have been proposed, including Desert of Wanderings, but none have produced widespread agreement. The Bible mentions Kadesh and or Kadesh Barnea in a number of episodes, making it an important site, or sites, in narratives concerning Israelite origins. Kadesh was the chief site of encampment for the Israelites during their wandering in the Zin Desert. Deuteronomy 1:46, as well as the place from which the Israelite spies were sent to Canaan, Numbers 13:1-26. The first failed attempt to capture Canaan was made from Kadesh, Numbers 14:40-45. Moses struck a rock that brought forth water at Kadesh, Numbers 20:11. Miriam, Numbers 21, and Aaron, Numbers 20:22-29, both died and were buried near a place named Kadesh. Moses sent envoys to the king of Edom from Kadesh, Numbers 20:14, asking for permission to let the Israelites use the king's highway passing through his territory, which the Edomite king denied. Kadesh Barnea is a key feature in the common biblical formula delineating the southern border of the land of Israel, cross-reference. Numbers 34:4, Joshua 15:3, Ezekiel 47:19 etc., and thus its identification is key to understanding both the ideal and geopolitically realized borders of ancient Israel. The most common identification of Kadesh or Kadesh Barnea in modern scholarship is with the present-day Tel el-Qudirat, with most contemporary scholars seeing the biblical references to Kadesh as referring to a single site. The Bible locates Kadesh, or Kadesh Barnea, as an oasis south of Canaan, west of the Arabah and east of the Brook of Egypt. It is 11 days' march by way of Mount Seir from Horeb, Deuteronomy 1:2. By the late 19th century, as many as 18 sites had been proposed for biblical Kadesh. One source of confusion has been the fact that Kadesh is sometimes mentioned in connection with the desert of Paran, Numbers 13:26, and at other times with the Zin Desert, Numbers 21. This discrepancy has been noted by commentators as early as the Middle Ages. Some, example Hezekiah ben Manoah, sought a reconciliatory model, while others, Abraham ibn Ezra and Nachmanides, proposed two separate sites named Kadesh. A minority of recent scholars have continued to maintain a two-site theory, with a western Kadesh in the wilderness of Zin, and an eastern Kadesh in the wilderness of Paran, the latter often associated with Petra, Jordan. The two-site theory also appears to have been held by Josephus and Eusebius of Caesarea. Josephus identifies Miriam's burial site, which the Bible identifies as Kadesh, with Petra, which he called Rechem. After a period in which researchers identified Kadesh with the similarly named Ein Kadesh, since 1905 modern Ain el-Qudirat in Wadi el-Ain of northern Sinai has been widely accepted as the location of Kadesh Barnea. Several Iron Age fortresses have been excavated there. The oldest, a small elliptical structure, dates to the 10th century BCE, and was abandoned for some time after its first destruction. A second fort, constructed during the 8th century BCE, probably during the reign of Uzziah, was destroyed during the 7th century BCE, most likely during Manasseh of Judah's reign. Two ostraca engraved in Hebrew, dated to the 8th or 7th century BCE, have been recovered there, suggesting Israelite occupation. Excavations at Ain el-Qudirat conducted by Dr. Rudolf Cohen, former head of the Israeli Antiquities Authority during the Israeli occupation of Sinai following the 1967 war, uncovered copious remains of the Middle Bronze Age I period, MBAI or MBI. Sometimes known as the Intermediate Bronze Age, which were also found at numerous other sites in the Negev. On the other hand, Late Bronze Age, the conventional time of the Exodus, is unattested in the Negev. In an article in Biblical Archaeology Review of July, 1983, Cohen put forward the suggestion that the Exodus took place at the start of MBI and that the MBI people were, in fact, the Israelites. The idea has not been widely adopted. Alrighty, and that will do it for this video. Catch you on the next one. Have a great day, and be safe. If you enjoyed this video, please think about subscribing, as well as hitting the like and sharing would help out a lot. Thank you all, and may the gods guide you in your journey. Stay blessed.